Some forces don't need incense circles or invocations. They propagate through symbols, through language, through your attention. These are egregores, right? And they have a nasty influence and psychological effect at those that come into contact with them. Once you've seen the pattern, you can't really unsee it. These things feed on your attention, your emotional unrest, and your cognitive dissonance. In this episode, Dr. Stone and I decide to, in light of recent events, talk about protection and cleansing when the threat isn't necessarily possession, but it's contamination from a cognitohazard. So breathe in, young magus, and let the work begin. Three, two, one. Okay, welcome back to Discourse with myself, Abrahamic the Great, joined as always by the lovely Dr. Anna Stone.
Hello.
And this week we are doing an episode that's been a long time coming. We are doing warding specifically of the home, protection. This is kind of like Magic 101.
And of the self.
And of the self, yes. This is Magic 101, but it's also high level. If you get really detailed with it, really intricate with it, it is a very, very powerful procedure and something that I personally really enjoy. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm super excited to be like sitting down like this with you. I feel like we haven't done this in so long.
It's been a minute. We've been busy doing stuff.
Yes.
Other stuff. And the world's gotten crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is timely, I do believe.
Yes, it is very timely.
Very timely. And it's, so in this episode, we're going to be sharing with you guys ways to shield yourself and your home from unwanted energy.
Yes.
Attachments, etc. And there's many different ways and different traditions.
Yes.
Right? So,
there are, and I think that it's one of the things I usually run to it when you're doing magic, especially the further you are on your path, the more sensitive you become to these influences, these subtle influences.
But also, like, the more unaware you are of them too, because you're so used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
it's like unfazed, but I can tell when it's unfazed by certain things. But I can tell when something's off. It needs to be clean. I'm really sensitive to it. Like, I know I need to ward the home. I need to clean the house out because there's something here that is just causing problems.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. And I mean, it can be your work too. It could be at work.
Yeah, you can feel it around certain people. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Or institutions.
Yes.
Or, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about with this episode. But yeah, this is kind of 101. But that being said, the basics are basics for a reason. Mm-hmm. They're necessary steps.
It's super necessary. And I think when you watch me do magic, I spend most of my time purifying and setting up protections,
Whereas I never do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I should, because, I get really worked up, right? Mm-hmm. I get worked up by a lot of things. And a lot of that is that's part of the attachment issue. Is like, if, so like, let's talk about what we mean when we say protecting yourself, right? From what? Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, from what are we talking about?
Any kind of influence. So I think in ceremonial magic, you are trying to run a clinical operation. So you don't want elementals, you don't want angels, you don't want astral entities, you don't want anything, only what you specifically call on. Right. Only and that way what's in the area. Okay. As for like daily life in the home, I don't want anything astral. I don't want elemental. I don't want the astral leeches, those entities.
Right.
I don't want anything elemental, something that can throw me off balance, right? It can be a little bit emotional. Obviously nothing infernal. I don't want that posted up in my home. Yeah.
Okay, but with what has transpired in the past 2 weeks, it is very evident now that not always do these things have to be of a supernatural origin. They can be people. They can be institutions.
So that, to me, falls into the realm of kind of astral, psychic, egregore,
it is
thought
egregoric,
forms. Yes,
sure.
It is it's a very gnarly, nasty egregore that the world is dealing with right now and being exposed to.
Is it just one, or is it multiples, or is it like subsidiary egregores of the main one? Like kind of it's like tendrils out across everything, and it is pretty much impossible at this point for anyone to truly be safe from those things. So I think that this will help, hopefully, some of you guys to learn how to protect yourself from it and to not get carried away with it. Because again, the point is to get you riled up, right? That's the point. So in this case, warding and protecting is going to do the opposite. It's like when you're bullied at school, right? What happens if you're bullied as a kid at school and you get, upset by it and you cry and you're scared of that person? They keep doing it, right? They feed off of that reaction. But the minute you don't care, the minute you stand up and say, oh yeah, sure, okay, whatever, you're right, and just like become indifferent to it, then they are no longer getting that fix from you, and then they move on to the next target, right? And it's kind of like that. It's like we don't want to be giving our energy away like this, and we don't want to be allowing it in ourselves or in our homes. And it can be people. It can also be people, right? So it doesn't have to be even that you're engaged with it. It could just be that someone you know happens to be having, obsession over things, etc., that cause you distress, right? So this is ways to help prevent any negative, like inferior energy from messing up your life or your magical work, right? Is that what we're doing here? Would you consider it to be a lesser than energy, or what?
I mean, if you're specifically talking about this
astral stuff, right?
Wait, what you're referring to right now is the thing that everyone's getting, the entire world's getting exposed to, the Epstein elite stuff.
Right.
So that's what you're talking about.
Right, but it's more than that. It's part of that whole astral thing, right? Because it's so pervasive in everything.
Well, I think the way that you're gonna think about that is more along the lines of, it's like archonic, like an archon.
Yeah. The things that aren't real, allegedly.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think when I was first exposed to that, and when I was able to see it for the first time, and there was a lot of people, I wasn't the only person. There's a lot of people online, happened, and we all got called crazy, and we got blacklisted and banned and that kind of stuff. But this happened in 2015, when there was a few 100,000 people that got obsessed and found all this stuff. And I honestly think that the FBI, that's what tipped the FBI off. That the FBI saw what we were working on in 2015, and they have been working on it ever since. I honestly do believe that, because during that time, there were FBI agents that were in our forums, that were in our chat rooms, and their minds were breaking with us. They were like, you guys are right. Like, it was the federal agents that were sent to monitor us were being pulled into.
They were converted.
Yes, they were. Yeah. They were like, oh, you guys are actually onto something. I honestly believe that that's what happened. But when I was first exposed to this thing, it was very painful. Like burned, and I could see it. Like I could see it. I could see it in everything. It was very mind breaking, and I thought of it as Satan or the devil incarnate. And I spend a lot of time talking about how that whole realm is more of a perspective and a mindset. And I think the point of seeing that and like on the other end of the experience, I think that the point of seeing that was being able to recognize it where it is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have power over me anymore because I know where it is and how not to engage with it, because I can see it. Once you see it,
Right.
you can't unsee it.
Yeah, it's awful.
And I think, yes, and I think that a lot of people are going through that experience right now where now they're able to see it. Now they're able to see exactly what's happening. And there's a lot of us that went through it back in 2015, 2016. We all went through it together. We were able to see it for the first time. I've always thought of it as like an eldritch. Like we were talking about what it actually looks like. I've always thought of it as Satan. However, do I think it's like actually a devil? Like if you're going to talk about like the mythological Satan, no.
Right.
I think that is what Satan is, what we're looking at.
It's us.
Yes.
Being horrible.
And so the power that has over you is very egregoric.
Yes.
If you don't know it's there, it has power over you. If you know it's there, you can detach yourself just by knowledge of it. Right. It has spent God knows how long hiding and
at least
stirring people up, using their emotions, telling them that, you know, their neighbor's a white supremacist and their husband's a pedophile, and
yes.
You know, pitting everybody against each other, you know,
yep.
telling, you know, gay people that everybody wants to kill them, like that kind of stuff, pitting everybody against each other, stirring up that emotion because people haven't been aware of what is actually going on.
Right. Because we've been indoctrinated to not believe it.
And so now that you can see what is actually happening, and now that you can see, you know, why we're getting pitted against each other, you have a choice not to engage in it. And how do they get that from you? How does it get that from you? How does it get your attention?
Right.
It's like through the news. Vote for this guy, vote for this guy, and if you don't vote for this guy, then you're this, and if you don't vote for this guy, you're this.
Us and them.
Watch it. You should watch the news. You should watch the news, and you should feel enraged, or you should feel sorry, or you should feel blah blah blah, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's how it operates.
Up. Yes.
You're seeing something in its death spiral right now. This egregore, the light is shown on it, and everybody can see it, and it's really sickening. It's really disgusting. Everybody's exposed to it now. The entire world is exposed to the reality of this thing, can see it for what it is. But it is very powerful to be able to see it for what it is, because now you know not to engage with it, right?
Right.
So protecting yourself from that is not engaging with it. Stop watching Netflix.
Right.
Stop. And the thing is, and look at your social media. Look at the tools, because there are tools.
There are.
Right. I've seen multiple feminist moms blame their husbands for the elite pedophiles. This has been going on for the past few weeks.
Okay.
They are tools.
Yes, that's
watch out.
That is so
because these women, instead of blaming the elite pedophiles, are turning around and blaming their husbands.
It is purposeful dissent, right? So it's like it's controlled dissent.
Yes.
So they have, and you guys need to know about these things. This is really important for navigating what's coming and what is here currently, because there are concepts within psychology and sociology, right? Where how do you control people? How do you reframe narratives, right? And one of those things is exactly this, is like you start to see people coming forward that are now, making a big to-do about some other thing that's adjacent, but not it. And so they're like, it's like, oh, nothing to see here, but look over here. Yeah. And I've been seeing it also. And they're plants. It's like on purpose. So it's important, again, to just, it's like spiritual indifference, right? It's kind of necessary.
Well, yeah, you gotta. So the thing that you have to understand is that it's all a psyop.
Apparently everything is.
I sound like Alex Jones right now. But
I know.
It's the point of it is you're not supposed to know what's real and what is. You're not supposed to know who to hate. You're not supposed to know who to trust. That's the whole point of it.
Right.
And so you're getting mixed messages from everywhere you look, and it's supposed to be confusing. It's supposed to be disorienting because they want you to be exhausted. And I'm going to tell you, as a hypnotist,
Yes.
you know, this is how hypnotism works.
Yes, please listen to this right now.
When I am hypnotizing someone, what I am trying to do is I am trying to overload their stimulus that is going into them. So I'm touching them while talking to them, like, hey, pay attention over here, look over here, and their sensory stimulus. I'm trying to overload that person and make them so uncomfortable that the only escape that they have is to reach into suggestibility and go into a state of trance. And then I can suggest, have them do, you know, what I want, get into their head.
So in lay people's terms, what he's saying is that in order to hypnotize you, you have to be so mentally overwhelmed that the only, at that point, the only logical thing that will bring you any relief is to capitulate or to agree and to succumb to the suggestions of the person or people or institutions that are overwhelming you.
And so the thing is, hypnotism was a very, man, this is like a conspiracy theory episode all of a sudden. Hypnotism was something that was explored by the United States government very heavily in the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s in a lot of black projects. It was explored by the military-industrial complex. It was explored by the CIA. And it's something, this is very foundational hypnotism that you can go on to any hypnotist YouTube channel. They're going to tell you this kind of stuff. Any hypnotist knows this is how hypnotism works. So obviously the government that spent decades researching hypnotism, how to sway a population, is going to know that how this works. And so what you're seeing is this on a mass scale, and you're seeing it done through your news, through your social feeds. And the whole point is to disorient you.
Yes.
So they're going to be telling you that it's somebody else that it's not. You know, they're going to be telling black people that it's white people. They're going to be telling women that it's men. They're trying to pit everybody against each other. And the thing is, they're going to tell you that aliens are real.
Oh yeah, that's
and they're going to tell you that you guys were right. The moon landing was fake.
It was totally fake.
Disorient you as any way that they can, so they can get you to let so the egregore can hide again.
Yeah.
Right? So that it can hide and you're not aware of it. Right. You need to stop watching the news.
Yeah, let me insert something here. So I recently did a video for TikTok, and I did some research on it about Project Mockingbird, right? Mm-hmm. Which is documented history. The 1975 Senate Church Committee discovered that journalists had been forging relationships with media outlets and specific journalists, right? Back in that time frame, there was about 50 corporations that owned all the media, about 50, right? All the media, that's pretty dispersed. Well, kind of, spread out, right? There is now 5 or 6. It is State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. These are all of them. Those 5 or 6 corporations or whatever they are own all of the media, from the national all the way down to the local. So a lot of people like Fox News, CNN are so different, mm-hmm. right? They're not. That's an illusion. It's an illusion of difference, so that they're placating both sides mm-hmm. evenly. They're still pressing agenda forward. Okay. So the news is not, it started off being a place where you were supposed to be able to get your information because we're busy. Mm-hmm. It is no longer that. It is now a narrative driving force. And it is very much so heavily researched by other countries. Germany has a whole, college course about it. And they talk about how absolutely brainwashed we are over here without even knowing it. Right. Mm. But as soon as you know it, you know it. As soon as you know, oh my gosh, I can't trust this. I've got to figure it out for myself. I've got to look elsewhere. I've got to go independent, and branch out from this stuff that I'm comfortable with and start looking for actually other perspectives, right? But that's something we've been trained to not do. And because we're party line affiliated, et cetera. So just keep that in mind. as we navigate this time, which is very unprecedented, I'd say, right? Like we haven't had anything this crazy happen at least in my lifetime, for sure.
This happened in Rome. But yeah.
I mean, since then?
I mean, Rome's a pretty big example that I'm
yeah,
with.
I mean, it's pretty insane. But and the fact of the matter is that it's going to be very hard to fully remove yourself from any of it, right? Because it's everywhere and it's everything. So warding and protecting oneself at this point, I think, could not be more important.
Yeah, so there's magical things you can do. So for anybody that's going through it, I know that I know certain people that are.
I mean, me.
Yes. Okay. I didn't want to call you out. Dr. Stone has been extremely distressed.
Yeah.
About the.
Like I had already known this. I knew it, but I
you know it, and then you see it, and it breaks you. Yeah.
But it was much better when it was a conspiracy theory, right?
Yes.
It was much better when it was not as bad as it actually is.
Yes.
When I had an idea, and my idea was trumped
when it was
1,000 times over.
When it was just a YouTube video, and it wasn't
like, holy shit,
this is actually real.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
it's worse than you thought.
Way worse. Way worse.
Yeah.
I've had nightmares. I haven't been able to eat, and I'm sure if any of you guys have been reading that stuff, you know why. It's been really hard on me. I'm a mom. Like, I can't. Like, it's just too much. So that being said, I still have to function. I still have to go forward. I still have to keep, living and working and being a parent and a wife and, all the things that I am outside of, being distressed right now. Right. And so what do I do? Well, Abrahamic helped with that last night. And I think it's important that you guys all have these tools in your arsenal to, kind of protect yourself and your family from this stuff.
So the person that you see today, the mystic that you see today, was because of this.
So yeah,
this is what sent me onto this path.
So I'll say I'm sorry. Like I get it. Like I didn't quite understand previously. Because you're so grounded, right? But now having been subjected, which I did to myself, of course, subjected myself to this stuff, very minimally, by the way. It has been a lot, and it's really it's destabilized me for the past week. And it's just been like, my head, it can't comprehend how people can behave or act or think these ways. And it's really hard for me, but it is what it is. It's there. And so what do I do about it? I can't keep dwelling on it. Can't change it. Can't do anything about it. What's done is done, right? So how do I go forward? Well, last night you did a ritual for me, right? And to help me
few things just to detach you from the influence, because how I understand the thing, to at least if you could think of it like a egregore or this kind of tendril of influence. Thing is, like, this, when you are exposed to this thing and you see it's painful, it hurts you, and it's attached to you, and you realize that you're attached to it, and there are so many actions you take every single day that feed it directly.
That's what I mean.
And you have your entire life that you are complicit in it, and you have always been complicit in it, and you basically cannot function in the world without
being
giving it power,
right? So, and I know, because of what's happened with me, as soon as this happened, what I experienced, I'm going to go ahead and assume, probably correctly, that some of you guys, a few of you specifically, probably are having the same experiences, where you're starting to see things all of a sudden that you really don't want to see and know. Mm-hmm. And it floods in, right? Like it's almost like I can't control it. And this is not normal for me. I usually can shut off or shut out, right? And so this is really imperative. I feel like this is super important for people to know how to do, because otherwise it can really break you. It can.
Yeah. I lost my mind for a month of my life, but I'm going to say the most important thing, like, I know that it is painful. It's psychologically painful. I personally felt it in my soul. And for our intuitive listeners, and our psychic audience, what you're going through right now, this is a death throes,
Yes.
and it will end. You need to hang on to your sanity, and you need to take care of yourself. The best thing that you could do for yourself is to stop consuming it.
Yeah.
Stop watching the videos about it.
Yeah.
Stop watching the news.
Don't look up the files.
Stop reading it. And you need to focus on what's immediately in front of you.
Right. Can you tell them what you said to me last night, though, about how, because that really helped, when I was telling you how I was seeing stuff, and you said what that meant, like it's on purpose. Remember why it was on purpose? Because now I see it. And now I don't have to be part of it, right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
No, exactly. So this is one of the most important things about detaching yourself from an egregore, and that's really what this thing is, right? So there's this narrative that these people are dark occultists and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to realize, even if they are conducting occult rituals, these are some of the most powerful people on the planet Earth. They do not do occult rituals like
what we're
we
doing.
do, where it's literally a lifestyle. These are people that show up at a party and put on a robe and do something.
Yeah.
They're not about it, right?
And they're
so you have to understand this thing is more of an egregore. It is an ever pervasive influence, and by recognizing it and by seeing it, you can detach from it. It no longer has power over you, right?
It's like the invisible man. It's like all of a sudden, you think you're hearing something in your room and you can't see anything, and one day you decide to just throw a blanket towards the direction of the sound, and now all of a sudden there's a human figure covered in a blanket because now you can see it. You caught them, right? You caught it.
Yes.
And so now it's been found out, and it loses power once it's recognized, right? Once it's seen.
Once it's recognized, once it's seen, that's how you detach it. Like the number one way to detach yourself from an egregore is to outline it. You can see it now. You can see it, and for our intuitive audience, you could see it, right?
Yeah.
I know I could see it, and I was not an intuitive person. Like I could visually see it. So the most important thing is, like, if you are struggling right now, you need to protect your sanity, and you need to focus on what's in front of you, and you need to cut yourself off from everything. Give yourself a sabbatical and retreat into your spirituality. Okay. I know everything looks very dark and very disgusting right now, and it looks like a hell world, but you have to understand that this is not new.
It's not.
This has happened in human history quite a few times.
Yes.
And
doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right, but what I am saying is that, as a spiritual person, you need to hold yourself together, and you need to be the light. You need to push forward, and you cannot do that when you are in pain. You need to detach yourself, and you need to cut all the egregores influences out, right?
Right.
Like if it's coming through the TV, if it's coming through the internet, whatever it is, the screens, stay away from them if you are in pain right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't take some time to yourself and focus on what's important. Focus on your kids, focus on your spouse, focus on your job.
Go in your settings on your social media and go into filter words.
Yes.
And filter them out so that you don't get those posts on your feed anymore. That's what I did.
Yeah. Just strip your life into something incredibly simple, refocus yourself, and then slowly introduce things back in as you're moving forward. And we're going to teach you a little bit of magic on how to protect yourself. But this is a turning point for anybody that's, really struggling right now. This is a turning point for you. In the pain that you're feeling right now is it's existential pain, and it's the worst. It is the most soul-crushing thing I can imagine. Existential pain is the worst pain that one can go through. But that existential pain is a sign that it's being ripped from you. It's lost power. It's in its death throes because you can see it now.
Right.
You don't have to feed it anymore.
So it gets the loudest, like, just like the death rattle in humans, like when something is broken and, about to collapse, that's when it gets the most violent and crazy and loud, right? And so right now, I truly hope that, and I think, and I truly hope that that's what we're seeing, is that it's like at the end, you just throw everything at the wall and hope something sticks, right? So before you fade out. Right.
Yes.
So,
I think it's important to recognize, like, if you could just imagine right now, if, you did not have your TV in your house, you did not have your computer at your house, and you did not have your phone on your hip, that thing would not be able to get at you, right? It would not be able to get to you. It would not be able to upset you. It would not be able to hurt you.
Right.
Its entire power over you, its entire influence over you is the emotions that it can get out of you, right?
And that's via consent of just participating via the stuff on social media, on the news, right? All of it. It's that age-old kind of like doing it in plain sight, right? And getting that consent by just, it's entertainment, or it's something, but it's not. It's telling you a story, and by just watching it and not, thinking, oh, that's terrible, because it's just the movie or just the show, then it's kind of like you've kind of, that's their consent. So you got to not participate in it, right? And that's what we're saying. It is hard. It's very hard, and a lot of us, we can't reasonably just detach completely. We have work. We have to be reachable.
Exactly.
And as like for myself, as a somebody that works at a college, no matter how hard I try, I can't, because I've got students coming in. We've got people talk in my office talking about it, right? So I am having to hear about it all the time, and as they're uncovering it, it's like a constant re-traumatization, which I did to you also, and it's hard. So, but I think I feel a lot better now, and I think that this stuff that we're going to share with you now is going to help a lot. So would you start with the self or with the home when you're talking about protection?
Okay.
For everyday, like just for this, we can just that question, and then we can just go into how protection and shielding works, right? But like for this, if our viewers are struggling right now, would it start with the home first, or would it start with the self first?
It would start with the self first, because the way that this, the way that egregores are attached to you through it, like you can think of it like a tentacle, right?
Yes.
And it's like stuck inside of you. What you're trying to do is you're trying to clear that. Now, last night when I was clearing it from you, Dr. Stone, I put you into hypnotism in a hypnotic state just to kind of diagnose what was going on, and I was able to find how it was moving through your body. Right. And it was manifesting in different emotions, and
feelings.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, different. You were storing it somatically, so there were feelings tied to body parts.
Yes.
And that's how it was moving through you, and like it doesn't want to get discovered, and so once we started getting closer to the location, then it started turning more into a pain, right?
Yes.
So I guess when warding the self, I would say if you're going to be doing warding or protection, look to the Christians. The Christians are overpowered when it comes to this.
Sure.
Right? So you're going to want to use archangels, call on them, use God names, call on them, and you can detach it. You're doing it through the authority of their God the Father, using holy water. Holy water is a very important part of the rite that I used on you last night. And then I was commanding with my own personal authority for this thing to detach from you.
Yeah.
Now, this is an egregore. An egregore is a psychic entity. So if you're wielding angels, angels are arms of Source's will, of God's will, right? So an egregore psychic entity is really nothing if you call on Michael or Raphael or that kind of stuff. So Michael is going to be specifically in charge of, if you're dealing with something infernal, demonic, might be a little bit overkill when you're dealing with an egregore. But Uriel is in charge of, you're going to call on him when you're trying to get like a refresh, rejuvenation, kind of healing, that kind of thing.
Oh, I did not know
So I used both of those angels last night on you. Used a lot of holy water, and then we just kind of reversed through, and I pulled the tentacle back out.
Yeah.
So I guess at home, if you're going to be doing this on yourself, you're going to call on some angels, right?
Yes.
Call on some angels, have them remove it.
Yeah,
Okay?
but diagnose yourself. So what you had me do is you had me like go internally and see my own like aura, like my own
Yes.
protection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that it was not as bright as normal, specifically behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Like behind my head was dim compared to the front, but it was all muted. So that to me, and then I've been having these headaches, right? Like all week, having this like tension in between my shoulders, like all week long, and just being like, what is going on? And that's where it was at. It was like on my back, like a monkey on my back, like just sitting there. It was like, it's almost, you could think of it as like the angel and devil on your shoulder almost. It's like, but it's all devil, you know, it's just like trying to get you to do the things, like look at the sight, look at the thing, you know? But yeah, it was definitely, you need to do that. You need to try to identify where it is.
Yeah.
Right?
So it gets, you're going to store it psychosomatically. So it's usually a body pain. So if you can identify the body pain, that's usually where
yeah,
where
like
it's coming
nausea.
from.
I was having a ton. I was like upset to my stomach like all week, just having like random stomach aches. You know, like just feeling like I was gonna get sick, and I was just like, oh, dude, you know, but no other symptoms of anything, you know. So it wasn't like, you know, I mean, I ruled out all the natural stuff first, right? But yeah, so you want to look and see what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Take a check on yourself.
Yeah. So if you're doing, I'll there's a few different ways to do diagnostics, you know, like if you got the new age stuff, do the tuning forks, you know,
that works.
Yeah, you could do like tuning forks or a reading if that's what you have at your disposal. I like to use hypnosis and spirits in order to diagnose things.
Tarot cards.
But yeah, when you're trying to figure out where something's attached, you want to run a diagnostic to find out specifically where it is. There's something that's called body syndromes, which is basically where they have an intense emotion and they store it in the body.
Yeah.
And
yes.
So I usually look for body syndrome. So it'll be something like my shoulders are sore, or my neck is sore, or I have a headache, or I've got nausea, that kind of stuff. I look for the body syndrome, and then I try to identify that with, you know, is the body syndrome coming from an emotion that, if the emotion has a reason to be there, then that is a psychological thing. If the emotion does not have a reason to be there, then there's astral entity, some kind of spirit that's inspiring it.
That is, always say that. I always say that. You have to always assess if you are in a bad mood, if you have some kind of, you know, feeling that you can't shake, you need to take a minute and like sit down and try to figure out what was the genesis of this feeling. Like, what was the antecedent for this? Like, what is it that triggered this? And if you cannot find it, it's most likely not really yours, and it's something that is attached to you. And I say that all the time to clients, and it is really important. This is one of those things where I fail at doing it all the time. Like I catch myself doing, you know, because having this issue a lot because I don't protect myself the way I should, right? And protecting yourself is not a one-off, right? It is not. It's how frequently do you need to do these things, though?
Oh, it depends on what you're doing, right? If you're doing a ton of magic, like I do, you know, daily, you know, procedures, right? You should always be cleansing and protecting yourself before you go into ritual and when you're coming out, at least when you're dealing with spirits. When you're dealing with deities, you could be a little more lax. However, you want to clean yourself before you approach a deity, right? As for when you're talking about environments and spaces, this ritual room right here, I usually clean it before every ritual, and then it still picks up grime, and I have to reset the room, do a big ritual to purify the room. When you're talking about your house, your home, your living quarters, you want to be warding that, you know, seasonally, maybe twice a year, you know, at least if
like
you're practicing magic, right?
Yeah. Like a thorough one,
yeah, but just make it a thing, right?
Yeah.
Make it a Sunday afternoon where you do it. I like to do it seasonally, like do a warding like a spring cleaning. It's like the spring cleaning, but it's the spring warding, and you definitely do notice a huge difference in the vibe when you do it.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you don't do it, you notice a huge difference.
Yes, exactly.
Our house, we don't do stuff in the house, right?
Mm-mm.
It's only in this room here.
Stuff leaks in there.
It leaks in there. Yeah. And like lately we've been here having a lot of stuff making noise and such. And, definitely. And I think that there are times that are heightened, activity is heightened too. Like, right now would be one of those times where probably activity's heightened right now for us because I didn't keep up. I was supposed to do 2 rituals that I didn't do. Yeah. And so I think activity's heightened because of that. They're like, what the hell? Yeah.
The liminal season activity gets heightened too.
Yeah.
And then if there's something important we're supposed to be doing, activity gets heightened. That's what I've noticed.
But you could tell
but you could tell the difference between like, hey, there's something grimy in here, and something's reminding me that it's like, hey, dude, we've got an appointment, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, you called me out for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of the times I was like, I didn't even call you, I just thought about it.
That's enough. That's enough. And that's the thing is, when you get to a certain point in your practice, the initial intention to even consider doing a thing is enough to.
That's why I don't believe in causality anymore. It's so funny because the Kabbalion, it's like one of the 7 hermetic laws is the law of cause and effect, and I was like, dude, this fool has never done magic before because it's like I don't know if cause and effect is a thing when I do magic.
Well, you got to remember this. That you don't speak with words.
Yeah.
When you're out of this form, okay? That's not it. It's your thought is your word.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. That just the mere thought. You know this happens to me all the time.
Well, the timeline's all mixed up. Like when you're on the ride. Well, when you're on the ride, it's like you don't know where it began and where it ended. There's just this like
mesh of stuff.
Like big old mishmash of synchronicities and weird
that is because time
circumstances
is not real.
and that kind of stuff.
Everything is now.
And then you're just like, and then you're like, when did I don't even know when the ritual began.
Yeah. No, I mean, that happens all the time. Like, that's why I have to really monitor my thoughts.
Yes.
And what I think about, because when I think about things, they fucking tend to happen.
Yeah.
And in the past, I can now look back with much clearer eyes and see, most 99% of all the drama I've ever had was my own doing because I was the one fixated on negative thoughts. And like, those thoughts have power, just like words do. And, you got to be careful about what you're allowing yourself to think. And so protecting yourself is key in here. But that being said, protecting yourself is totally pointless if you're going to continue to do the same things to engage with the negativity or stuff.
So the thing is, when it comes to protecting yourself, there's lots of rituals, there's lots of spells you can do. You can use amulets, you use talismans, like that kind of
methods,
stuff. The best protection is faith and emotional stability.
Yeah.
That's the best protection,
Conviction.
Yes. So it's like the best protection is faith. So even when, stuff is happening, you're like, well, there's a reason for this, right? But then when you're talking about like the way that these spirits are able to affect you and mess with you, right? That comes down to emotional stability. If you can't be moved by the spirit in any direction, it can't really affect you, right?
Move on to something else.
Yes, exactly.
Just like the bully.
And so, like, really, if you, this is gonna sound really dumb.
No.
If you really keep up a meditation practice and really get yourself in a place where you're like emotionally stable. So when we're talking to Abbas about the soul mirror and about kind of, it's got to be still. You have to, it's got to be a placid lake.
Yeah.
Placid, that it reflects the image.
The hologram, yeah.
Clearly, right? That's what we're aiming for with the soul. And if you can get it, then you can see like the spirits can't affect you. The things that come to you can't affect you. It's when it can pull you into anger or move you to fear or move you. So the best protection is that emotional stability. And how do you get that out of spiritual practice? Well, you do it through, meditation and dissociation, as doctors.
That's my meditation. Okay,
yes.
I don't know.
But there are plenty of things you can do in the meantime, because obviously you build up to that. And I mean, obviously I'm not perfect at it. I get moved all the time by these things, and I have to go and I have to banish them. Right. I have to clean myself and that kind of thing.
Right.
So
that's what I meant. It's not a one-off. Like you're gonna. This is something that you're human. Mm-hmm. We're human right now. Like we're gonna be impacted by these things. We're gonna have feelings about them. If you don't, that's a problem. I mean, if you have, I can't imagine how you couldn't have a feeling about it. But it is. So that doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means that you need to just re-up again, right? Like you need to just sanitize yourself.
You need to re-sanitize yourself, like put up your protections, and you really need to think about like why you're experiencing that. That's what the book of Job is. So like people that are like deeply unsettled right now, like anybody that's having a hard time right now with what's going on, you really need to be looking inside of yourself and looking at how you can use this to get farther along your path, how this is bringing you closer to what you're truly going to be, because you get to see something really disgusting right now. You get to see something that's incredibly worldly, and what being of the world truly means.
Apparently.
For 1% of people, being of the world, like participating in the world. You want to participate in the news and the Netflix and the politics and all that kind of, you want to participate in all that kind of stuff. Well, that makes you
this is what
implicit in
this is what it is.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. I just got mad chills from you saying that. Oh my gosh. Damn. That was so deep. You're right. That is exactly what it is. It's like, okay, you're all tribalist with your political party affiliation. Here's what it is. Mm-hmm. That's where you what? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is that. You're right. Holy shit. That is, and it's hard. It's hard to come to terms with that.
Yeah, it's like an emperor without clothes situation.
You're finally
or
seeing
whatever.
it for what it is.
Yeah. You get to see like the actual nature of the beast. And so you have a decision right now, and it is incredibly painful, but you can dive deeper into a spiritual lifestyle. You could dive deeper into your path, your God, your family, and the people around you, and you can be a light, right?
Yeah.
That is the whole point of this, because when you really realize that, and you can really bring yourself, it's like, look, that's my existence is what's right in front of me. Right. My consciousness is what I have right in front of me and what I can control right in front of me. And I could choose to be a light in my world, right? I could choose to do that with my incarnation, with my existence. And then you feel bad for people,
right?
For these people.
Because it is
because you know how disgusting their existence is.
So the antidote for the evils, I don't even think that's the right word anymore.
It's such a weird word. Yeah. That's why this is why I don't believe it. This is why I say I don't believe in evil, because that, like, getting exposed to this, it just turns everything on its head.
I don't have
a word. Yeah.
I don't have words for it. It's and just feeling duped, right? Like just feeling like everything I thought I knew was well, actually right, but like I was hoping that I was crazy. Yeah. That would be a lot easier. And like to come to terms with the fact that like the option for me to be literally insane is a better option right now than the actual reality of the situation. Yeah. I've got, you're going to get like some of the people, I've got 2 people that hit me up and say, I'm sorry, thought you're crazy. It's okay. I get it, but that's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that, damn it, I'd rather be crazy right now, but that's where we are. So yeah, you can't go forward now, right? On the old way I guess. Like,
no, you can't.
You can't.
You know what the word you know what it means to be of the world now, and so
Fuck
it's like,
you,
and
man.
so now you have to make a decision. You have to refocus your life. You have to restructure your life. Like, what's important? Where's your happiness? Like, that kind of thing. And
that's the antidote to this. Like, the power remains because we've all been complicit, knowingly or not, right? So once we start to just really focus in, and this goes back to that whole thing that my professor told me that I didn't like, which is that you gotta stop caring about the things you cannot control and focusing on what you can control. And that's your immediate sphere of influence. That's what we said last time on our live, and it keeps coming back up. But it's so true, because that's what is needed. We need to be the light in all of this darkness, right? For everybody. And we need to all, the people that are not insane, the people that are not whatever the hell this is, those people, we need to find each other and, form communities with each other and perpetuate that light over this darkness, right? You know what I mean? Not because we're trying to do anything to that. Like, that's not the focus. The focus is just our immediate sphere of influence. If enough people do that, who knows what can happen. But it's got to start somewhere, right? So I know I'm not joining them. The whole you can't beat them, join them. Absolutely fucking not. So I know where I'm at. I know what side of the history I'm on, and I hope that you guys all are able to do that too. But let's go. And so you say Christians have the best self-protection. That's kind of like the blessing.
I'm gonna say, if you are digging around, no matter what religion you are, go ahead and take some blessings, prayers, protections from the Christians, right?
Right, because again, to not do that is just feeding into the fact of the difference, the separation that they're pitting everyone against, right?
Well, so Christianity specifically, their ritual technology, they have millennia. They're very, very concerned with protection from this kind of stuff, right? That is what the ritual technology is concerned with. I found it's the most effective, when I'm dealing with this stuff. And you're going to see within the grimoires themselves, obviously because they were in a Christian Europe written in there, but still the grimoires themselves lean a lot into remodeling Christian protection and warding rituals, right?
Right.
And if you look at Christian warding rituals, it's going to look very familiar to occult and ceremonial magic rituals. So one of the things that I would definitely suggest somebody do if you're trying to ward your space or ward your home, and I'm telling you, this is so powerful. So normally you have to go, everybody else goes to a Catholic church and gets a priest to perform this ceremony for it. But any occultist could perform this.
I've done it so many times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any occultist could perform this. It's not a hard ritual. You just need holy water and kosher salt. But you look up a Benedictine home warding.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because in the Benedictine home warding they have these medallions, the Benedictine cross. The Benedictine cross or the Benedictine medallion are supposed to be the most powerful.
Is that what we have?
Yes, right above the ritual room. I have a Benedictine cross just so nothing crosses the threshold.
Scares me.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's always scared of that one. It's got like a real scary looking Jesus crucified on it. Yeah.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty gnarly. Yeah.
But the Benedictine cross, they'll chalk it on doorways, and you can get the amulet, the icon, or the crucifix. And this is supposed to be like the number one protection from demons.
Yep, it's
like
anchoring.
All that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
So you put it on the door jamb or wherever, because that's a secondary method of warding.
Yeah.
Which is like the ritual itself is the first one, right? Like walking around.
Yes.
And clearing it out, right?
Yes.
And so how do you do that? So the first thing you do when you're going to ward your space is that you're going to first
I'm going to walk through my personal warding. Towards the end of the episode, I'm going to give you guys a warding ritual. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Benedictine one.
Yeah, sure.
Because you can Google it, you can find the ritual, and any occultist can perform it. And it's not going to feel too weird. It's not like a lot of Jesus stuff. It's like literally ritual
Is there
warding.
a risk of having activity pop up while you're doing it?
No, I do not think so.
Okay.
I mean, unless you are a full-blown demonologer, but I don't know why you would be.
You never know. I'm just saying.
If you have an altar to Paimon in the corner, I don't know why you'd be doing a warding. It's like you've got a demon king living in your house. But
I don't know. I'm sure that you can think of someone like.
But anyways, so the Benedictine, it's using holy water, sprinkling salt. You're putting the emblem all over the doorways.
Is it the oil on the door jamb?
Yeah, and so you're going to do that on the door jamb. You're going to do that on the windows with holy water and that kind of thing. But one of the interesting things about it is that they put the crosses in the four corner of the cardinal directions on the properties.
Yeah, of course.
I love that. I love how every time
it's connected.
It's, we're doing the same ritual.
Yeah, you are just calling it different things.
We're doing the same things.
Yep.
But it's a very, very powerful ritual. And so when I do warding, I have a modified version of it, a more occult version of it, a little bit of new age in it. Because I think the very first magic, I guess you could say, I was performing, I was an atheist when I was a teenager, but I was scared of ghosts, which I don't know how
that works.
this made any sense. And so I would like smudge. I'd smudge the house regularly, and that was like my first warding. So I still, ethical white sage be damned, cultural appropriation be damned.
No such thing.
I still incorporate smudging into my warding ceremony because I've just been doing it since
right. So I do the same. So like the way for spaces, mine's yours is very complicated and not complicated, but yours is very serious, right?
Yes.
Now, if I have done serious ones for a few people that have had activity in their house and they were scared, and it was scary. I'm not gonna lie, it was scary, and I did get attacked one time and got scratches all over me.
That's the thing. Okay, so
what?
You cannot be scared when you do it.
I was scared.
You walk into. You need to walk into these things. Like everything that you come into. So it's so funny. This is my version of like you. You have to be delusional that the magic's gonna work. This is my version of it. Is like you have to know the demon is your bitch, dude. You cannot walk in there scared. You have to know that you have the power. Yeah. Like you walk around and you should not be scared warding a home or cleansing a home. You should be stoked. You should be running through that with the power of the angels and God and get out, dude.
So, I mean, I did that, but I was internally scared. Yeah. And it did get me. I have photographic evidence of it, too. Yes. And it was, I was not happy about that.
Yeah.
Now, that was many years ago. That was 12 years ago. Now, I would not do that. Now, I know enough. Like, now I know. Yeah. But I was still kind of on the fence at that point. I wasn't as delulu as I am now with my own abilities, right? Uh-huh. But, like, for me, when I have... And this has happened a few times. I do get scared. I'm not gonna lie. You know this.
Yes.
I do freak out every time I see or know that there's some spirit I wasn't expecting in my space. It scares. It does. I don't know how else to say it. But so what I do though is traditional witchcraft method. Okay, is and I know it's been adopted by Wicca and Golden Dawn. Everybody does the same thing pretty much, but it's like, you get some sage or whatever. Okay. And you start, you go counterclockwise around the house, right? And you go and you leave the one space open, like so a window by the front door open, but on the opposite side from where you're starting. So if you're coming in, you go clockwise around the house. So if you come in the front door, you're going to go along the edges, right? And you're going to go to every room and you're going to sage it out and you're going to say whatever you feel you should say. Mm-hmm. Like nothing can stay here that's not, in my best interest or whatever it is. Like you'll figure it out. Like it should be specific to you. I think if you're doing it this way, not the religious way, it should be from you. So you walk around and you assert authority. It's like you're trying to tell someone to get the fuck out of your house. And the cops are on their way. You know what I mean? And so there's no ifs, ands, or buts if this thing's gonna leave. and you push it out with smoke, you walk around until you come back to the front where that is open, the window or door is open, and then you shoo it out, and then you shut the door. Then you salt the door jamb, right? Like, so you take salt, and now you're going to put it on the windowsills, and you're going to put it on in the door jambs, right? And that's how I do it. And it works. It does work. And then also for property for me is fairly simple. It's easier than people, right? Like the outside of the property is a lot easier. It's just like a line of salt around. But I think for extra, like added, like oomph is like you get some railroad stakes, like those metal stakes, and you can buy those at like, I don't know, at witchcraft stores actually, or online, that they're iron, right? And so you stake the four corners of the property. And that is like a symbolic gesture that you are staking your claim on that land, and nothing can enter that land, not just the house, but like the land that it's sitting on, other than what you allow in. Okay. So that one's really good. That also helps for like if you're having any property disputes or anything like that, it's another anchoring. For the self, like for me, I do the thing. I just see my aura, like I see it, it's there, and I make it bigger in my mind's eye, right?
Yes.
And I use it like, think of like an atomic bomb blast. You've seen videos of that. How it like starts small and it just keeps radiating outward, right? And it sends a shockwave before the light actually hits you, right? It's like that. It's like you're going to push out, you're going to envision that your energy field is just expanding exponentially towards whatever the hell you don't want near you. And as that expansion comes close to it, it pushes it, it just totally obliterates it, right? You see that and you know that that is it. Like you don't question it. You have to know that you're more powerful than it is, because you're here in this iteration, and you have both the spiritual and the human, right? Like, so you have this duality to you that they don't have. So you are more powerful, and you have to know that. That's it. There are some other things though, specifically, that I think are really important to know about. And it's funny because you think about this as a modern world problem, but it's not, because it's been going on forever. So to keep yourself shielded from egregores, from psychic attacks, from magic attacks, whatever. Like, some of us have haters, right? Some of us have people that, want bad things to happen to us for whatever fucking reason. And, to protect yourself from that is important, right? Because someone's negativity about you can manifest in many ways, and usually not the way that the person who sent it intended, right? Like usually they're not that good at it to where it's actually going to surgically come into your life exactly the way they wanted it, but it will sow chaos in some way, shape, or form somehow, right? It will be less focused and more kind of diffused, right? But there's a couple methods that I just want to talk about quickly, and I'm going to tell you how long they've been around and like where they come from, because some of them are really interesting. But so the mirror shield is a big one, and that starts from ancient Greece, and Hecate is the one that first it can be attributed to, which is news to me, and I found that out when I was doing my research for this. I did not know that.
So yeah, I think talking about this as before we go into the different methods for warding different kinds of spells and that kind of stuff. Now, when you're warding a home, you're warding a property, as an occultist or magician, you want multiple lines of defense.
Yes. Layering, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, you want to do the Benedictine home warding. You want archangels on the corners. You want your mirror on the front door, mezuzah on you want the spirit magnets, that kind of stuff. You need to booby trap your home, because as an occultist, the more that you work in the other realms, the more you attract, so the more visible you become. You become more visible to them, and then also the more you operate around occult spaces, the more losers you run into. So you're more likely to get a personal attack and a spiritual one, right? Attack, yeah.
So when you open our front door, there's a mirror directly in your face, right?
Yeah, and then also to tell.
No. But like, yeah, you don't tell about it. But like, so
Yeah.
the one of the most basic things you can do is if you can place some kind of object, like a horseshoe's one, right? Outside the door. But a mirror, when you first open your front door, if you can see your reflection when you walk in the house, then that you can use, if you have a space where you can make that happen, right? Where you can put a mirror so that the minute someone walks in your home, their reflection is staring them in the face. You can use that and then, consecrate that mirror for the purpose of mirroring negativity back out the door. Okay. That's old as hell. It's so old. It goes back to Hecate. It goes back to ancient Greece, and not only ancient Greece, but it's also, and it's called, I want to say this right, anti-catastrophed. Anti-catastrophed. That is the word for it. So it's anti-catastrophed, and it is the use of a reflective surface of some type to send back the energy being sent towards you. Okay. And this is popular in, like I said, ancient Greece, but also in hoodoo and Native American magic, in Chinese folk magic, and in cunning folk magic, right? Like it's in almost every tradition, pretty much, right? But layering's important. So that's just one aspect that we have, right? That's one thing we do. Then there is the yogi or Hindu tantric tradition of absorption shields, right? Those are, that's when it absorbs it for you. So this would be something like malachite crystal, right? Malachite crystal is known to break when it encounters negative energy sent towards you, right? And I've had that happen. I didn't believe that it was real, honestly, and I got one and had it just sitting on my desk for a long time, and then one day it was just shattered in half, and I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And that's what they say happened, so I'm gonna just believe that that's what happened. So that's kind of is something that absorbs it, right? Then there's the Taoist and ninja and Tibetan, Buddhist and shamanic void or smoke shield, which makes you harder to energetically locate. It's kind of like almost invisible, but not quite, right? You're almost invisible. It's like nothing to see here. This is just a boring, mundane person. We don't need to focus on them. And then there's the radiant shield, which is going to be Neoplatonist, Kabbalistic, and Christian mystics, where you're calling on angels, the angels and stuff, or deities. Okay, so that would be the deity work where you're asking for protection that way. But a new method is called the gray man technique. This is new as in 9/11 new. Okay. And its origins suck, but apparently it's effective, because it does seem that that's how a lot of that happened, because they were people under the radar, right? And that is when you become so grounded in the mundane as you walk through, like that you're able to hide all of your magic from anybody that would care about it. And you're able to just kind of walk invisible, but not like an NPC. It's like making yourself into an NPC kind of vibe. And so that's new. I haven't tried that at all, but I was interested to learn that because of 9/11, a new whole thing came about, and it has its roots in our intelligence agency. So I don't know how much I would trust it, but it is something that was developed by the CIA, by the powers that be. So to walk in plain sight without being seen. Okay. But again, you could do all of these. You could do everything. You could make yourself totally invisible. The second you re-engage with whatever you're trying to become invisible from, it's ruined. It's gone, right? So, but yeah, like these are, but egregorically, specifically, like what's the best course of action for that?
For egregores?
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, identify the egregore. Number
Okay.
2, attach yourself to an opposing egregore.
Opposing egregore.
Yeah. So if let's say you are addicted to Coca-Cola and it's all you think about, and you can hear like the stupid Coca-Cola jingle in your head all the time, right?
Yeah. Okay.
What you want to do the next day is you want to go buy a 12-pack of Pepsi and maybe go to a NASCAR and just like immerse yourself in Pepsi, and then all of a sudden, by the end of the week you'll be screaming Coca-Cola sucks.
Yeah, but now you're part of the Pepsi egregore.
Exactly, right. And so you kind of see this historically playing out with Nazis and communists. That is exactly what happened there.
Oh.
People became Nazis because they didn't want to be a communist. People became communists because they didn't want to be a fascist, right? So
Oh my gosh.
yes.
Okay.
So, and it's like, that's how egregores work, right? So in my egregoric experiments, in my early occultism, I understood this principle, right?
Yeah.
And so the second occult group I was in, we very intentionally chose a target to be the anti of the egregore. So to detach ourselves from the first egregore, we created a second egregore that was an antithesis of the first egregore, and then found somebody attached to the first egregore as the target of the second egregore, right? As like, and so it was all about, well, you don't want to be like him. He's a bad person, and that took all the members from his order.
Okay, so you've got to play the game a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so that's what we have to do, and that's what.
So it was like in order for people to get detached from the first egregore, they had to have a second one to be like, well, I'm not this, so I'm that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. So a lot of us are used to that anyways, right? That's
yeah.
not behavior that sounds so outrageous. Yeah. Actually, it's like a lot
of
people.
But this is like the insidious nature of egregores. People that understand egregores and how to use them, it's like, it's super manipulative, right?
Right.
But so I usually just tell people identify them, like outline the egregore, identify it.
So how do you know if an egregore has hooks in you, right? Like, how would you know? Because a lot of the time, I think with that, you're not aware you're part of it until you are aware, right? Isn't that how a lot of it works?
I don't know.
Because branding is egregores.
Huh?
Branding is egregores. Like Apple is an egregore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People that are like, you're an Android user, like, I never say to people, you're an Apple user. Like, I don't say that, but they say that to me all the time. And I'm just like, who fucking cares? Like,
I know, it's really weird.
It's so, because it's a fucking egregore.
iPhone people are like
they look down on you for having Android.
I know, they're like,
it's like, what?
They're like, well, you should just get an iPhone so you can be in the group chat or something. And you're just like, what?
Like, your different colored read receipts are bothering me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh my God. Like, it's so dumb. And then look at what they do. How many times they release new versions that you have to just go, you can't stay with the status quo. You have to keep going forward, right? That's an egregore. And most people don't even see it when they're in it. I'm not in it. I can see it, right? I think, so if you're having obsessive thinking about a group of people, feeling watched, having dreams about it, the compulsion to continue to engage with it, then you're likely part of it.
Yes. So it's emotional, feeds off emotions. This is why, like, at the very beginning of the episode, I said it's archonic, right? The one that everybody's dealing with right now is archonic, because this is like, the archons are like kind of this on a cosmic scale, but the archons are kind of spiritual beings. They're like cosmic beings. Egregores are not. Egregores are psychic, noetic. They're it exists in the idea sphere, in the noosphere, the intellectual sphere. They do not have the spiritual substance to them. They're psychic. So they're but you're going to notice, like, they feed off of emotions the same way that an archon does.
Good or bad emotions?
The thing is, when you are falling in goose step with the egregore, the egregore doesn't doesn't need anything from you, right? It's not going to attack you, like that kind of stuff. When you fall out of line with the egregore, you fall out of goose step with it. That's when there's either people start attacking you, like a group of people will start attacking you that's still attached to the egregore, or there is this emotional turmoil that starts happening, erratic behaviors that starts happening. And this is an egregore that is trying to expel you because you're not
in with it.
You're not in with it, right? It's trying to feed off of you, it's trying to harvest you, and it's trying to expel
And
you
you're
from
draining it.
from the organism.
Yeah.
That's when an egregore is attacking you, when it's fighting with you. And you're going to notice like a group of people will turn on you, or you will start having erratic behavior, or like this emotional instability, like you said, obsessiveness that has to do with the group that the egregore is attached to. That's when egregores are incredibly insidious, and I've seen that ruin people's lives before.
Yes, you have. Yes. I know. That's one of the first stories ever that I learned when we first started dating was that all this stuff about the egregores, and I was amazed by that because I had not experienced it yet.
Yeah.
That I thought, anyways. I now know that is absolutely not true, but I didn't think I was ever part of something like that, and I was just so like, what? But now I see what a fool that idea was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is, and it's funny because here in my nose, it's like, how do you counteract it? Building your own protective thought form as a counterpoint.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things I like to refer, because I was listening back. We recorded that Cyrus Ryan episode like 2 months ago, or like back in December around Christmas. And I was listening back to it, and he was talking about these, like, the reason for temples and the reason for orders and the reason for lodges and the reason for groups, like these esoteric ones or whatever, was that they shot these beams of light that pierced through this kind of like dark gray veil that existed around the planet or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, he was saying like the Rosicrucian and like that kind of stuff. And I just like thinking about that, because that just really hit with me about, what the point of doing this is, like what is the point of living this way, and not just living this way, but being public about it.
Right. Risky.
Yeah, it's very risky. And what is the point? And then it's like, okay, so the point is that there are nasty things out there.
Yes.
And we are attached to them. But there needs to be an alternative. There needs to be
a counterpoint.
A light. And there needs to be a place to feel safe, where you don't feel crazy, where you don't feel like people are your enemies, that your neighbor's trying to get you, that
you're seen,
that the rich have enslaved you, and like that kind of stuff. You need a place where it's like, no, like this is all just drama.
Yeah, not like you need people that all believe the same.
Song and dance and theater. This is all just a show.
Bread and circuses.
Trying to convince me that
the ancient Rome
everything
did this.
Sucks.
This is ancient Rome relived. Okay, so like,
they
did bread and circuses.
So like it's like, so like you have the option to step into your spiritual self, step into your path, and step into, I don't know, just this light that Cyrus Ryan was talking about.
No,
right?
I know. It's like
you have the option to be that, to do that, and to step into it.
And it shields you. I think it shields. I think that it's a way to shield oneself from that gaze, from that, like,
they know.
What?
Yeah, like I just think about like the monastics living in a fucking mountain in Greece or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
They know.
That's
why they live in those monasteries.
Right. They're away from it all. Like they're like,
just
no,
like
the world sucks.
They're just like,
this is hell.
The world's
I think
disgusting.
we are in hell. I do believe that. I think that the hell's here.
Hell.
No, that the world is hell. Like the worldliness is the hell that people are fearful of, and we're living in it. And when we disengage from it,
There's
it
just
becomes our own little shield.
nasty, dark people, and it's there was like, and it's like so funny too, because there's like emperors that are known for doing what Epstein did, right? And the even more messed up part about that is that there are like Hellenistic reconstructionists that think that is cool because gay rights or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
because again, people are going to look for things they it's real easy. People have cognitive dissonance, right? Like severely, and an echo chambers. So when it's real easy for you to cherry pick aspects of things that suit your purpose and ignore the things that are, negative about it or contradict your stance, right? That's what people are great at doing. But we can't do that anymore. We can't do that. So I think when we come together and we start to just focus on ourselves, be selfish, be about yourself and the people that you care about.
Well, right now, right now. I mean, number one thing, retreat into self, retreat into spirituality, cut everything out, take sabbatical.
Yep.
Slowly introduce stuff back in. Refocus yourself. What's
important?
What is important, right?
Yeah.
What's important? Being the light. All this stuff, it's all theater. It's all play.
It's a test. Like, I feel like it's part of a test of our resolve, like, are we really about the life that we claim to live and, and the values that we uphold? Or are we easily swayed just because maybe the majority is going in a different direction? Are you going to succumb to the peer pressure? Or are you going to know who you are? Do you know thyself? Like, truly, at this point, it's more important than ever to really know who you are, what you stand for, and what you will and will not tolerate in your own sphere of influence, right? It's that simple. And this is if it's now or never. If ever there was a time, it's now, I'd say. And so
throw yourself to it.
Well, just be about it, Like, there's no listen,
I'm sitting here in a robe because of this.
Okay, so here's the other thing. First of all, two things that are positive that I can name that have come out of this fucking clusterfuck dumpster fire of a reality we're in, okay? Magic's fucking real, okay? If anyone doesn't understand that, let me just tell you that after reading some of those things, I am very aware now that the most powerful people on this fucking goddamn planet absolutely 100% believe in this shit, and that is how they've gotten their power. So it is fucking real. Number two, okay? Oh my God, that it's motherfucking, it's actually real. Like, it's all in there, and everyone knows it, and we've just been like told to not believe it. So there's that, okay? But the other thing too is that, like, I don't even know. Like, let me think of how to word this properly before I say. So, because I don't want to say anything that's too triggering, right? But this is one of those things where, like, we out now see everything for what it is, okay? And this shit's real, and you're not crazy, okay? And if these people are walking amongst us and running our world, then I'll be damned if I'm going to let myself be concerned about who knows I fucking practice magic. You know what I mean? Before, it was scary for me to come out. I'm a professor, I have a doctorate, you know what I mean? Like, that in a few years back, that would have been career crushing, right? To be public like this, okay? But now, if someone tries to come at me and tell me that I'm crazy or that my shit is weird, I'm sorry. Like, you cannot. So for any of you guys that have been kind of in the broom closet about your practice and beliefs, you literally have, there's absolutely no reason for you to be concerned about what people think now, because if this is the fucking norm, this other shit, we're all good. So I don't know. I feel like I think that's something that people can kind of like take as a win, is like, all right, so I'm not crazy to think this way. People cannot just dismiss you anymore for having the beliefs you have, because hello, like the fucking world's run off of it. So, a different version of it, but like still, like it is now out there, right? So take that and don't be afraid to just be, about who you are. You don't have to hide it anymore, because at least you're not fucking doing that shit. You know what I mean? That's no one can say shit to you anymore now. So there's that. And I think that's a very big win for most of us, right? So, I mean, even people at work are like, hey, so Anna, I guess you're not so crazy now. Like I've gotten that comment, like, okay, so, hey, I take what I can get out of a bad situation, right? So talk to us about the ritual that you do when it's time to rid this place of nastiness or hangers on or unwanted energies.
So I'm going to say, if you find yourself in a position, like let's say, okay, you're doing all the things on yourself, you clear yourself out, you need to clear your space out, right? And I really encourage you to do this. Like, if there's any ritual that, I hand to you, I'm going to link it, live grimoire link in the description, but do this ritual. A very simple wording. It's going to require sage, myrrh, white sage, myrrh, I always like my censer. So we're going to do triple layers. You're going to get an icon of Mary or the divine feminine, a goddess, right? And you're looking for a kind of pure mother goddess archetype. Okay, so don't be using Lilith. All right, guys. We're looking for
Hecate's a protective force.
Yeah, Hecate works perfectly. Yeah. Hecate falls in line with this. So some kind of icon of the divine feminine. You're going to need the Benedictine cross or crucifix. If you don't want to hang a crucifix in your home, just get some consecrated chalk and draw the Benedictine cross. And then what?
How does that look?
It's a cross, and then it's got like an L and an S. And
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in a circle. So you could find it if you Google it. You draw that, and then protective amulet. I like the mezuzah, but basically you're going to enforce all the entrances. The divine feminine is what is kind of protecting the home. That is the protector. The god name that the god name that is the reflector and the protector, but that's on the front doorway, right? Okay. So you're gonna put your divine feminine over there, your goddess. It's gonna be there at the front door, right? You're gonna do exactly what you're talking about, where you're walking around the home and then sprinkling holy water on all the windows, all the entrances. The door that you enter and exit the most is going to get a mezuzah, protective amulet, something on it, and then wherever you conduct your magic, your ritual operations, you're going to put Benedictine cross in front of that. So we have a specific room. I understand most people.
Yeah, we didn't used to.
Most people don't, but you're going to want to get a Benedictine cross around a threshold that marks like, yo, spirits, you're welcome here. This is my living quarters. You're not allowed over here, right?
Like you don't want them near your kids.
You don't want them near your kids. Yeah, I think like right before I moved out of my last apartment, like I started seeing stuff like walking around my
That's
daughter's bedroom.
Isn't that on tape?
Yeah, I think it's on. It's on tape. Yeah, it's one of the episodes, and that was just like
it was a lot.
I was like so upset.
I saw that too.
Not okay.
Fuck, that was scary.
Not okay, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So it's important that Benedictine cross, it's OP. I know it's Christian, dude. Just get with it, man. Yeah. Lots of magic people use Christian stuff. Get with it. Stop being a lame.
It's all stolen from other stuff anyway. So
it's OP, dude. And Jesus loves you even if you're a witch. So, all right, come on.
Yeah.
But so the god name, as you're walking around, you've got all this thing set up. You're going to walk around, you're going to smudge the whole place, right? You can use any incense if you don't want to use the white sage. Just smudge the place, what she's talking about with the mantra. After you cleanse the place, then you're going to walk around and you're going to start invoking the archangels on every cardinal direction. You're going to set them as sentries on the perimeter of the house.
Like a gargoyle.
Yes, like a gargoyle. In between every single one of these archangels, you're going to be using the god name El Shaddai, right? That is the protective name of God. That is a God that is the protector of the doors of Israel. So that is the God name that basically seals the deal as you're establishing the home as your magic protective circle. And then obviously you're going to come, you're going to seal, you're going to thank the angels, you're going to thank God, you're going to thank your goddess, and you're going to open up all the windows in the house, and you're just going to let that, everything, just all that nice, clean air and energy come in. Let me tell you, this is a beautiful warding ritual. It lasts. It's very, very powerful. Things are not going to walk in. Nothing's going to come in. Maybe the dead, though. I think we've had the dead visit before, but that's more like a help me, I don't know where I am.
Yeah, they're different. Like, it's not they're not there for long usually. And that's
nothing's gonna come in, and you're gonna notice the vibe in your home. So I love to do this when like tensions in the family are high, when people are stressed out at each other. I would perform this ceremony just to like reset the mood in the house. When there's magical psychic attacks, obviously, and then I like to do it as a kind of spring cleaning ceremony at the turn of the season, spring and fall, and you can instantly tell.
Yes,
it's funny too, because I do a miniature version. It feels like the house. It feels like you're in a church all of a sudden. And then like a cathedral. Yeah, it's got a very cathedral
weird,
vibe.
like vibration in it.
Yeah. It's awesome. Like everything's just like brighter and uplifting, and the mood's better. And then in our ritual space here, I do a kind of like miniature trimmed down version, and you could definitely, that's something that you want to be doing frequently, because there is stuff wherever you're doing magic, there's stuff hanging out on the perimeter that is constantly trying to break down that barrier.
Literally.
So you want to, if you're not going to do it, it depends on how much you're doing magic. Doing magic frequently, you're going to want to do it before and after every single ritual. Otherwise, you can get away with like once a week. If you don't, you're going to notice like when you walk into the room, there's weird emotions, tense emotions, or you're going to feel like you're being watched. Also uptick in activity if you're not warding your ritual space, right? There was a time where I didn't like to ward my ritual space because I was trying to collect an entourage in there, and I really did not realize how grimy that space was until I was out of it. And then I was like, wow, I can't believe I was living in that.
Same with my old house
spiritual
too. Like,
filth, dude.
I loved my old apartment. Then when I moved out, I was like, oh God, it's so
the vibe
dark
is
in there.
Yeah, I felt
sorry for
vibe. I wanted to leave a note like, hey, you guys should probably get a priest in here.
Yeah. You know? Man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But these are, so I mean, you're not without you're not without tools here. You're not you're not just left hanging, right? You can do something for yourself and for your family. And if you're experiencing distress at this time, or if you're just doing magic work, this is not optional. It is, you must do it. Like you have to do the things to keep yourself clean and like
keep yourself clean and protect your space and that kind of stuff. And like I'm going to tell you, this is Magic 101, but it's also getting really good at it and getting really into it and really developing like your own like warding technique is also extremely high level magic, right?
Yeah.
It's some of the most powerful magic that you could do. You know, it's definitely like my magical function in the home is that, you know, I clean the filth and I protect the
and
place,
you also draw. You also draw.
I draw in the filth, but I also clean the filth out too. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But definitely. And you said you're gonna put that ritual on.
Gonna link it in the description. A live grimoire link. I typed this up, I think 2 years ago because somebody asked for it because they had seen me do it before.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to send it. So I had to like type up my warding ceremony. And so yeah, I'll put it in Live Grimoire. I'll throw it in the link. It's pretty basic, really simple. But damn, is it powerful, and it feels really good. Yeah,
it does work. It does work, and and that's what you can do right now. Mm-hmm. That's it. This is the first thing you can do.
I think when I was first exposed to this stuff and I was losing my mind,
you didn't have the occult then yet.
I immediately started learning the occult.
Right. Well, because you needed to know your enemy, right?
Yes, because I had to figure out how to get rid of this motherfucking thing that was stuck on me.
Yeah. And it's sticky. And I think, it's a way to shield yourself and your children too. Like, make sure you're incorporating some kind of include them in it, and in whatever way you can without traumatizing them. Like you don't have to have them present. I think it's you can just speak it and know that it worked. No, you got to know it though. You got to know, and that's the thing is, it's time to be Delulu in the sense that you are all powerful and that everything that you're saying is backed and it is happening and it's going to happen for you, right? There's no questioning it. You have to embody that authority over yourself. But think about it, it's yourself. If you don't want it near you, then you are the authority on that. There's no other authority for that, right? It's you. So just know that and do it, it doesn't take long. It doesn't cost money. I mean, you have to get maybe some little trinkets to use around the house, but it's a one-time thing, right? You don't have to keep buying those, right? Like the crosses and stuff. That's just like you have them. That's it. Do you have to clean them though? Do you have to clean those?
I don't think so. I mean, if it gets dirty, I know Jewish people, they like to check their mezuzahs to make sure that their scroll hasn't torn. Right? Maybe it's kind of like the malachite thing.
Oh, okay.
But I've never opened up my mezuzah. So.
Oh, is there something in it actually?
There's a little tiny scroll with Jew magic written on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
It's I think it's Deuteronomy and.
Is that's on the back door?
It's on the one that we go through all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One of those.
I think there's 2 verses on it. The first one's from Deuteronomy. And then the second one, I don't know, but it's basically about how God's a protector and love, and that you need to put a scroll on every single door. So yeah.
But again, just
weird Jewish rules.
Yeah. Just do what feels right for you. Yeah. But these are the basic.
But multi-layer protections. If you like, I'm not saying like I like the mezuzah. I'm telling you straight up, like, use the Christian stuff. You don't have to use the mezuzah. You can use an amulet or whatever, but if you are forsaking the power of Christian protection sigils, in your magical practice, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah. I mean, I never did, but I do find utility in it now.
Yes.
With you, because you bring shit in here like I would not have ever done on my own. So like, yeah, definitely is a thing. So yeah, definitely check out the app or the livegrimoire.com.
Yeah, we got a few things. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna wrap this up, so we got a few things we need to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So for those of you that have not been paying attention to the posts that it's not nothing against you. I'm just saying, not seeing the posts that we have been making, because I usually post on the YouTube channel, which is kind of weird. Text posts on a YouTube channel. How is that updating anybody?
I know. I don't know.
Nobody sees those. Yeah. Anyways, so we have our theological seminary that we've been working on for the past year is finally kind of launched. It's in its beginning phases, right? So you can check that out, collegeofmagicians.org, and there we're basically just showcasing what we're putting together.
Yeah, we're
infrastructure is all put together. We have the student portal, the canvas, and that kind of stuff. And so we're just wrapping up the first couple classes for our occult theological seminary, the Adepts College of Magicians. So go check that out, collegeofmagicians.org. We've also organized the Sunday services under Temple Kit, which is now the Sunday services. Now it's a legitimate temple. You can apply for membership for the temple on the collegeofmagicians.org, collegeofmagicians.org/services. Apply for membership for the temple so that you can start going through our annual initiation cycles with us. Join a spiritual community of occultists, esotericists, wizards, witches,
conjurations. We're going to do rituals.
Yeah. So it's a great way for people that are active and a part of the Sunday service occult community or whatever. It's a better way for us to organize and, give out rituals and communicate with each other. There's a newsletter. It's free to join, that kind of thing. And we're starting an initiation cycle on the spring equinox. It's going to last for a while, probably until winter. But the maximum capacity is 10 people for that. And you have to be a member of Temple Kets in order to join the initiation cycle. But I'll be walking 10 people that have been interviewed and gone through the application process. We'll be walking them through a classical mystery initiation into the mysteries of Isis and Osiris.
Oh man, you're
a
so
real
screwed.
deal, real deal. Mystery initiation by a real deal initiator.
Let me just say, I have watched this man do this.
Yes.
Many times now.
Uh-huh.
And every single time I'm like, all right, dude, and every single person is just like, oh my gosh, like every time they're just like, their outcomes are crazy. And it's definitely not
for the faint of heart.
It's not, I was exactly what I was going to say. It is not for, if you're LARPing this, it's not for that. Okay.
It's real. It's real deal though. It's informed by classical mystery, by my research, and then by my own initiation and by my experience. I have led tons of people through this exact initiation. So I've got a lot of experience leading people through this initiation.
No, I'm not. That's not what I meant. I meant that some of the people I've watched go through it were a bit shocked with the outcome because they maybe weren't really expecting for the things to happen that happened. Right. So just it's definitely for people that are about it. Right.
Yeah. So check out the Sunday Occult Service Temple Kets. Apply for membership.
Not discouraging you. I'm saying it's great.
Join.
It's great.
Like join the temple. Let's build something together.
Yeah, let's be that light in this whole dark shit storm. And like that. I really think like what I saw was that like it's like people that band together that are on the right side of it. The more like together, the less seen we are. Like the less affected we are, right? And it's like we got to have our own bubble like around us, like to kind of insulate us from all this shit. But we can do that. It's definitely not a lost cause here. And so come join us. Have community with us and get led on some crazy initiation with that.
I mean, there's a lot. Like we're doing the spirit conjuration, Sunday services, full moon rituals, pagan holidays, and then we're doing our annual initiation cycle. So full blown
spells.
Online temple.
Yep, I have my tarot
for you guys
classes.
We're gonna talk about that. So this is Temple Cat. Yeah. So then on top of that, so the memberships on the YouTube channel, we have our neophyte and initiate tier. Our neophyte tier get access to the spell videos early before anybody, and those who are in the initiate tier gets to see the videos that are produced for the theological seminary. That is only for members. So if you subscribe to it, you get a sneak peek at what's going on with the classes, the theological seminary. I'm going to tell you right now, I've got like 10 hours of the deepest dive you're going to get on Hermeticism. And it's only the first week, and that's to members only. It's insane. Dr. Stone has a class on
I have a history of tarot.
History of tarot, and then how to practice intuitive tarot. So these are all classes that are for the theological seminary, but if you are a member on the YouTube channel, you could see the videos for those classes. So I definitely encourage you guys to go check them out because it's pretty intense work, and we're really excited about it because the point of the seminary is to get people like, actual state accredited degrees in vocational,
occultism,
vocational occultism, which is insane.
It's so that you can go back into your community and do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And have more points of light breaking through this.
Yeah.
Whatever it is surrounding us, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of announcements we just made.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously go check out livegrimoire.com.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome. I love Live Grimoire. It's amazing.
It is. It's really great. And so some of my stuff I publish on there too. So if you're on there, you can, and you follow us, then you can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's lots of stuff that we're sharing. We're trying to spread the knowledge and help people on their path, right?
Yes.
So and it's different for everybody, but the foundation is the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what we're providing, right? Is that foundational information and skill sets that are needed. So we hope to see you, and we hope to see you on Sunday at our Sunday service. Yeah, we got Sunday service tomorrow. And then next week, I'm super excited about this. We have an interview with Abbas the Alchemist, my favorite YouTube channel. Yeah. What an amazing, we actually already interviewed, but we're not releasing it till next week. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was really great. He's awesome. I'm so excited. I had the best. Yeah, that was a really great interview. He's like so intrigued by everything you've said. Yeah, he's super cool. He's a real deal theurgist. He's super smart. He's like very scholarly, but he's well practiced. He's a real deal theurgist that can really demystify it in a way that I don't think anybody else can. I understood it. Yeah. Well, it's like the academics and the scholars get so there's a lot. It's really popular amongst the academia tube to talk about theurgy right now, and they miss the mark a lot because they're not practicing it. It's theory. Yeah. And this guy, he can keep up with them, but he also practices it, and he's every once in a while he drops on his YouTube a video that just rocks my everything practice. He said was oh my gosh, I was having so many, so I'm super excited for this episode. It's coming out next week, guys. Thank you for joining us always. We hope to see you. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok now, because I finally got him to do it. Doing social media. I literally spent this whole episode telling you guys disconnect, and I'm but that's different. We're not talking about that on there. So still gotta shill the YouTube channel. Yeah. All right, guys, we'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. Thank you. You've been listening to Discourse, where we venture into the mysteries of esotericism, the occult, and the depths of spiritual exploration. I am Abrahamic the Great, joined as always by Dr. Anna Stone, bringing adept insights to help guide your journey. Remember, the path of wisdom is illuminated by both knowledge and experience. Until next time, continue your exploration and stay attuned to the unseen.